Well, in a pretty special place here today. This is my northern Michigan deer hunting property that my family has had here in the family for 30 plus years. This is where I learned to deer hunt. This is where I first got introduced to wildlife and to watching critters and just to all the great things I love in the outdoors now. They all kind of started here. And what I wanted to share was a little bit of what we've been up to on this property in recent years. For 20 years or so, between like 1995 and almost to 2015, we've really struggled out here as far as seeing deer, having any success during hunting season. The deer population plummeted. We were getting to the point where across our whole group each season, during gun season, we might just see a couple deer. Only 2 or 3 bucks were taken over that whole time period. So slim pickings. And that said, though, somewhere around I think 2014 or 2015, I was able to kind of get the family on board with trying some new things that might be able to help improve our situation here. Provide more food for the deer, provide some better viewing and hunting opportunities. And now over the past 4 or 5 years now, we've been doing that. And it's made a really positive impact. So I want to show you what we've done, talk through that, and kind of explain what kind of results we've been seeing in just those few short years too. So back when I was a kid, there used to be 2 big open fields on this property, and those 2 big fields obviously provide a lot of edge, provide feeding habitat for the deer, and were kind of hot spots for deer activity back in like the early 90s. But those fields became completely grown over, and now those fields are this. I mean, completely thick as can be, brush, pine trees, shrubs. Very, very thick. But that meant there was no openings anymore on this property at all. There was no fields, no food sources of that kind. So my first plan was to try to open things up a little bit. So in year 1, we just came into this area that I'm in right now with a chainsaw and started cutting and just tried to open up a little patch here. And it wasn't very significant at first, but it was a lot of work just coming here with single chainsaws, cutting down trees. So year 1 was just opening this up. Now in year 2 and then year 3, we came back in here and opened it up even further. Got a friend who had a tractor to come out here and push out the root balls, and now you can see our first food plot. Nice big opening. I mean, relatively big. It's probably 1/4 acre maybe, something like that. But we were able to get something opened up, got it cleared out, and started planting a food plot here. The following year, we expanded that. We made a path going this way and then made another opening. So now we have kind of like a dumbbell shaped food plot system with like about a 1/4 acre, then a pathway leading to another 1/4 acre opening. So here's the second section we opened up. This was in year 3, I think. We opened up this small plot here, and then again you can see that pathway leading in that direction towards the other first food plot. And because of the soils up here in northern Michigan, we're in northwestern Michigan, it's very sandy, very acidic. So bad soil to plant anything. So we've been putting tons of lime down every year, lots of lime, lots of fertilizer, and we've been starting with plants that can handle relatively acidic soil. So we've been planting buckwheat and oats, and surprisingly to me a little bit, we've had that take off pretty darn well. So the past 2 years, this plot right here, just beautiful green carpet of food that, because there's nothing else like this around here, there's no ag around here. This is like the ice cream store in the area. So what's cool is that even though what we have planted here is pretty small in the bigger scheme of things, we were able to do it with very little equipment. I mean, I'm talking a chainsaw, a very small little ATV disc, a hand spreader, lots of blood and sweat and tears just trying to make it happen. And then finally, last year we had a friend that came in and pushed out some stumps. But other than that, I mean, very minimal equipment and money that went into this. It's a small food plot system. We've got this dumbbell section here, and then on the other side of the creek, we put in just another little tiny one last year we opened up. That's like 1/8 of an acre maybe. But just that, I mean, total, it can't be much more than a 1/2 acre total space that we have now planted food. Just that has dramatically changed what we're seeing here. For the first time ever, we're getting mature bucks on trail camera. For the first time in years, we've killed a couple deer. Now my dad killed a deer 2 years back, not too far from here. For the first time ever, consistently seeing deer every hunt around here. So we've got a doe family group or 2 that are hanging out around this food plot system during the rut. all sorts of bucks coming in. I mean, it has been so exciting to see the change. It's been so exciting to check those cameras and see really good deer in an area where we've never, at least I've never seen a mature buck once while hunting up here all those years as a kid. Early in the 90s, there were a couple of mature bucks killed by my grandpa, uncle, family friends, but I really do think that we are on the path towards that kind of thing again. I mean, we've had mature bucks on camera now each year the last 2 or 3 years. So I think it's just a matter of time till we start seeing one actually out here. And you know, we're continuing to try to improve things, expand things each year, little by little. And it's been so much fun to see those results happening, you know, right in front of our eyes. And getting my family involved in it, my dad getting an opportunity to maybe see a mature buck up here would be pretty awesome. So today, I think what we're going to try to achieve is we are, number one, we're spraying the food plots because there's a lot of new growth out here. So we're going to spray those. We've got a bunch of lime. We're going to put more lime down on all the food plots again because the soil, as I mentioned, has been very acidic. So every year we've had to add a lot of lime. We're making progress there. And then number two, I brought my chainsaw up to try to open up some new areas, to try to get these expanded just a little bit. In some spots that'll be just to get more sunlight for the current food plot. In other stuff, or in other places, there's going to be opportunities to increase the size of the food plot too. So lime, spraying, cut it. Well, it was a productive day. I was able to get all the plots sprayed, limed, and even was able to get the chainsaw out and expand the size of a couple spots. Cleared open the canopy quite a bit, so there's gonna be a lot more daylight come into that secondary plot location I showed you, which I think is gonna help us a lot. So feeling good. It was a very productive, efficient day up here. I'm gonna go pull a couple trail camera cards, and then we will be out of here. At least myself, I won't be back for another month and a half, when we'll then return and disc and plant plots. But I'm excited. We're just making slow but steady progress up here, and like I mentioned earlier, we're starting to see positive results. Getting those trail camera pictures of mature bucks, that's encouraging. So it's great to be able to combine what's already a special place with now hopefully more productive hunting opportunities. So more to come soon.